Hayward, have you ever worked so hard only to be ignored or even punished for your excellence? Have you ever shined so brightly that it made someone else feel small? In the world of power, brilliance is not always rewarded. Sometimes it's feared. Welcome to the 48 Laws of Power, where we uncover timeless principles that shape influence, leadership, and survival. Today we begin with Law 1, never outshine the master. The essence of the law, Robert Greene teaches us this profound rule. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. If you make them appear more brilliant than they are, you will attain the heights of power. If you outshine them, you will fall. This law is about understanding ego, status, and insecurity. Power is not just about what you know. It's about how others feel about your knowledge. Your boss, your mentor, your leader, they all have one thing in common. They need to feel important. When you outshine them, even unintentionally, their admiration turns into envy. Their respect turns into resistance, and their support turns into silent sabotage. To rise in power, you must play the game of perception, not just the game of skill. The story of Nicolas Fouquet. In 17th century France, King Louis XIV had a finance minister named Nicolas Fouquet, intelligent, charming, and ambitious. Fouquet wanted to impress the king, so he threw the most magnificent party France had ever seen. Fireworks, feasts, fountains, poets singing praises to Louis. But instead of feeling honored, the king felt overshadowed. Days later, Fouquet was arrested, accused of corruption, and imprisoned for life. Louis built his own palace, Versailles, to send a message. Only the king shall shine. The lesson is simple. When you make the master look small, you make yourself a threat. Biblical parallels. Even in the Bible, the wisdom of humility and respect for authority is clear. Joseph, when he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, did not take credit for his gift. He said, "It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace." Genesis chapter 41, verse 16. Joseph elevated Pharaoh's glory while subtly showing his own wisdom, and that humility made him ruler over Egypt. Contrast that with Lucifer, the angel who tried to outshine his creator. His pride led to his fall, the ultimate punishment for trying to overshadow the master. Power flows through respect, not rebellion. Quranic reflections. The Qur'an too warns about arrogance and pride. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 34, Allah commands the angels to bow before Adam, and Iblis refused, saying, "I am better than him. You created me from fire and created him from clay." That single act of arrogance caused his downfall. And the Qur'an also reminds us in Surah Al-Isra, verse 37, "Do not walk on the earth with arrogance, for you can neither pierce the earth nor reach the mountains in height. The wise do not boast before their masters. They learn, observe, and rise with patience." Modern examples. In today's corporate world, many believe that showing brilliance guarantees promotion. But if a boss feels threatened, that brilliance can be buried. A wise person makes their leader shine. When your superior looks good, you rise quietly behind them. Think of Johnny Ive and Steve Jobs. Ive rarely sought the spotlight. He let Jobs appear as the genius, and in return, Jobs trusted him deeply. That's power through discretion. Or think of the student who corrects a teacher publicly, or the athlete who embarrasses the coach in front of the team. Admiration turns to envy, and progress turns to punishment. The deeper lesson. Power is emotional. Power isn't only structural, it's psychological. Every person with authority guards their image. When they feel threatened, they react emotionally, not logically. People forgive mistakes faster than they forgive success that humiliates them. So what's the strategy? Shine, but reflect your light onto your master. Make them feel that your success is their success. Flatter their intelligence. Ask for advice even when you know the answer. When they feel secure, you gain influence. Balance and wisdom. This doesn't mean hiding your talent. It means expressing it strategically. Be like the moon, radiant yet shining through reflected light. The sun may be the master, but the moon rules the night sky. Power requires timing, restraint, and emotional intelligence. You're not dimming your light. You're learning how to let it illuminate the right path. The divine perspective. Both the Bible and the Qur'an teach that true power belongs to God alone. Humility before authority mirrors humility before the Creator. Jesus said in Luke chapter 14, verse 11, "For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted." And the Qur'an says in Surah Ash-Shu'ara, verse 215, "And lower your wing to the believers who follow you." Humility isn't weakness, it's divine strategy. The hidden power of humility. In every generation, humility has been misunderstood as weakness, but in truth, it is one of the most powerful strategies for influence and growth. When you stay humble, you become a mirror to others, reflecting their strengths, not threatening their image. People open up around humility. They share secrets, insights, and trust you more deeply than those who boast. And trust is the real currency of power. History celebrates those who led with quiet strength. Think of Nelson Mandela. After 27 years in prison, he emerged not with bitterness, but with dignity and calm authority. His humility disarmed his enemies, turned opponents into allies, and rebuilt a divided nation. Or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who led millions not through fear, but through mercy. He once said, "The strongest among you is the one who controls his anger." That is the essence of controlled power, strength guided by discipline. Even in modern leadership, the most admired figures practice this law silently. The best CEOs, teachers, and mentors know how to make others feel valued. They lead without shouting, they influence without showing dominance. The humble rise higher because their success doesn't threaten anyone. It inspires everyone. When you learn to lower your pride, you don't lose value. You increase it. You become magnetic, calm, confident, and untouchable. So before you chase the spotlight, ask yourself, do I want to be noticed or remembered? Because those who seek attention fade quickly, but those who move with wisdom leave a legacy that never dies. Conclusion: power is not only what you show, it's what you control. And control often comes through restraint. Never outshine the master. Learn the game before you try to rule it. And when your time comes, your light will be impossible to ignore. If you found wisdom in this law, stay tuned for the next chapter of the 48 Laws of Power. Until then, shine wisely.